What's going on, guys? Hey, I'm looking at my frame right now. I kind of got that, I don't like the look of this, that Oompa Loompa kind of coloration, but we're going to rock out, man. And we got another Xerjoff today. Let me show it on screen. Oh, you guys saw the red. Can you guess which one it is? Strap up, grab your drinks. Let's go for a ride.
Okay, dinner for two. I watch that head move side to side as I let this in into the room. You are on time, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food.
All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. From the House of Xerjoff, we have Wardasina. Real quick, we need to fix this because tone me down a little bit. Bam. Fix that coloration. Perfect. Okay, so Wardasina from Xerjoff. I don't see this get talked about a lot. I'm sure there's reviews out there. Somebody's had to review it, but all your famous reviewers, I haven't seen anything recent on it. When was it released? It was dropped in 2019, so they're probably in the archive somewhere. This fragrance is very unique. I'm actually just borrowing it to do my review. So I don't plan on carrying this for that long. It's just a scent that one of my family members has, but they're not too fond of. So we're going to review it. Let's get an initial thoughts. I wanted to get done with these reviews so I can, return this and I'm not holding on to it. But anyways, Wardasina, I've done a little bit of research on this fragrance and it seems all over the place. So I'm just going to dive right into it. For the record, this is a unisex fragrance. Before I started the episode, I double sprayed it on my hand because with niche scents or more complex scents, I do tend to like to put it on skin, especially if I'm curious about it because I want to know where it is on the dry down. Some scents I'm so familiar with or they are so linear that I don't feel like a skin test is necessary for reviews, but this one's absolutely going to be. Initial impressions is like, at first I felt like this was like a rose fragrance. Like I felt like it has somewhat of the funk, a bit of oud silk mood, not satin mood. It's got a very earthy, like almost soily infused rose note, which isn't the most pleasant because it's natural, but it's got a weird bite to it. But I don't feel like that bite is coming from natural rose because rose doesn't smell like that. It doesn't have that characteristic to it, like an earthy, bitter bite. So I feel like something is in this fragrance. Like the first impulsive stuff that I'm looking at feels like either oud or like tobacco or like green notes, like maybe like, I don't know, like grass or not necessarily vetiver, but like some sort of green note. So either oud, green note, tobacco, just something like brash that's giving it this earthy bite that seems beyond earthiness. Like it's something not from the earth mixing with something from the earth to give this rose kind of a dirty feel. Not dirty as in stinky, but a soily plus funk feel. I feel like it's perfectly unisex. There's nothing like inherently feminine about this other than the fact that I do get a distinct rose note, but this is like a very unique rose. This isn't like your feminine rose. It's not your very womanly dressed up rose. I mean, it's sophisticated and it's complex, but it's not like a traditional rendering to me. I'm excited to see what's in this fragrance. There's a lot going on that I don't quite understand. Okay. So launched in 2019, literally translated as small rose. Wardasina is a deliciously floral scent with oriental character. I get that. An elegant tribute to the most romantic flower of them all, the enchanting parfum opens up with herbal top notes of Bulgarian rose, hints of cedarwood, patchouli, vanilla, tobacco, musk. Okay, so let's just go to the notes. Hey, I wasn't too far off with this, boys. Is there oud in here? No. So okay, so I was wrong with the oud. So green notes top, Bulgarian rose, saffron, patchouli, cedar, and then in the base, tobacco, musk, and vanilla. See, this is where proportions mean everything, because you could look at something and just gravitate towards notes that you like, and it might make you pick a fragrance, and then you smell the fragrance and it has nothing in it. Like for me, there's so much green notes on it. There's so much green on top of it that it's almost equally competing for Bulgarian rose. And after smelling this fragrance, I can comfortably say I'm not the biggest fan of Bulgarian rose here. I do love Taif. I feel like I love Damascus rose. There's so many other roses out there. But this rose, I don't want to judge this rose because there's so many contrasting notes in here. I don't know if the part of the rose I'm smelling belongs to the rose or it's other stuff conflicting with that. I think what I'm getting here is this odd balance of saffron, patchouli, and tobacco, because I would say like 60% of the fragrance is this half and half competition where green notes are having a fight with Bulgarian rose. And then and then 40% of this fragrance is, you can't really make these notes out distinctively. You only make them out texturally. But I feel like there's this saffron, patchouli, and tobacco and musk battle going on. Saffron can be very pungent and kind of almost spicy, I believe. Let me see what the Accords is. Yeah, it's a spice. Saffron's very strong. Patchouli is very earthy. It could be soily. And so it can come off dark as well. Tobacco can be ashy. And then musk can be animalic and airy. So you've got these notes that, for whatever reason, have these textural components that come with them. Like you don't just get the smell of saffron, you get a spiciness with it. You don't just get patchouli when you smell it normally. You get like a deep, dark, rich earth kind of scent. Tobacco, depending on how it's done, can come off very ashy and loose leafy, and it's earthy, yet it has like this almost bitterness and sweetness at the same time. And then musk can just, it can mature stuff and tone stuff down, but it can also add like an airy freshness as well, like just a degree of complexity to a scent. So all of those things are kind of creating all of these textures in this scent. So let me get out of the note pyramid for half a second and just tell you guys that, to summarize this scent, and I'm not even judging it good or bad or not yet, but it is a 60% fight between whatever green notes feels like and Bulgarian rose. And it feels like those are pretty beautiful notes. But then texturally, you've got this slight spice from saffron that feels very dirty and earthy and musky, like coating the rose to make it feel more oudish, like a spritzed oud or something similar to oud silk mood. I love oud silk mood, and the blend of it is so perfection. But I'm just trying to let you know, accord wise, kind of the same nose spritz you get from silk mood is kind of what I'm getting here on top of this rose. And then, tobacco here, I do get kind of like an ashiness. So it's like this spicy, dark, silky, earthy, ashy, musky overload on top of greenness and rose. It's very unique. I do think, for how conflicting this note pyramid is in my mind, that they've done a pretty good job on the blend. It's just so foreign to me as far as notes that would work together, that there's nothing identifiable in this that's just like, oh, this is a resting place for my mind. I can understand this. This is just a complex fragrance that you're kind of like, do I like this? So for that, I give it like a 6, truly. This is one of those fragrances, though, that for the complex mind, men or woman, because I think is a unisex scent. I mean, here's the thing, guys. This was given almost a 4 out of 5 for 370 votes. So a lot of people aren't buying this. And out of a good, decent little chunk of people who have bought it, they have given it a good rating. So this is something that you cannot blind buy. You have to try it. And I think, again, I gave it a 6, but that's because I don't really understand what's going on and I don't really like it. But you could tell the people that are purchasing this fragrance are saying it's pretty good. 4 out of 5 is like, it's worth my money. Anything above like a 4.1 and forward means like the general public is starting to slide in and virtually kind of have some universal agreement on it, at least from my experience on Fragrantica. Now that all depends on how many people voted on the fragrance. A few thousand is a nice sample size, but normally when you're in the few hundreds, it's a very particular thing. So to people that might be intrigued by something like this, like older women, like north of 30, men, I don't see a man wearing this at all. It's somewhat reminiscent of Oud Silk Mood, and this has elements from Oud Silk Mood and Taif Oud from Roja, but both of those fragrances are miles better than this. They have a cleanliness to them, a better balance. They're not trying to overdo a bunch of things. But a woman who's sophisticated, who might be non-American, who's used to some unique notes and stuff like that, might really dig this. This is an interesting piece. I'll say that. It's closest to Taif Oud, I feel. Again, that's why I thought it was Oudi, but this isn't even Oud. It's just a bunch of unique elements pairing with greenness to make it kind of... So again, try it before you buy it. Some complex individuals, including some men probably, might really, really, really dig the complexity of this. But I think for the general public, this isn't one I would recommend you even try. But if you're kind of curious based off the notes I said and your research of it, try it. And in fact, with a fragrance like this, I would say listen to multiple reviewers if you're considering it, because I might be the only perspective on it. Get a woman's perspective on it, get a younger guy's perspective on it, and then get a really older guy's perspective on it to kind of see who, put together a good roadmap in your mind on if this is something you might want to pull the trigger on. But for me, it's a 6 out of 10, below average. I just think the balance is off, so I can't really respect it in its highest light. And I just think they're doing too much texturally to the fragrance. It creates this non-inviting scent that just strikes more curiosity than invitation. Again, it's a heavy scent, long-lasting, dense, cold weather scent, fall, winter for sure. I don't think this is an occasion scent. It's more of a weather scent. It is a complex scent, so it feels semi-formal and up, or for older females, it could be upscale casual. Sprays, I'd say 4 to 6, and you would be totally fine. And occasions, I just think upscale casual, semi-formal. This might even be a dope funeral scent. I hate to say it, for a lady, because it's so earthy and dark. It's almost like a rainy day on roses with some funk spritz. I don't know. From the house of Xerjoff, this was Wardasina. I hope I gave this fragrance some justice. I'm going to return it back to its owner. And make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell so you can stay tuned to the fact that we drop episodes every single day, from inspiration, clone dupes, inspired, designers, niche, independent niche, everything in between. I'm just putting a camera to my lifestyle and my journey through fragrance, hoping it enhances yours. Y'all be blessed. And until next time, peace.